How y'all doing today? So good to see you. I'm outside, the sun is blazing. I'm in the shade, staying cool as a cucumber. Well, today I'm going to do a little bit of Wing Chun with you. And excuse my pronunciation of any of the Chinese, the Cantonese, even if I throw in some Mandarin, it's all going to be improperly spoken, I'm sure. It's not that I mean any harm or disrespect to the language. It's just the way I am. I do not speak Chinese. My apologies. All right, so first things first. We're going to be working on the chain punch, the infamous chain punch. But to start with, I want to show you where my hands go. If I'm going to go into any confrontation with anybody, my hands come right up here. Now, you see this. This is your basic, one of your basic Wing Chun stances would be here with the hands here. My hands are here. This is very, very not offensive at all. And that's what I want. Now from here, for me, I can get all the motions that I need to use in a Wing Chun situation if I want to use Wing Chun. What I primarily use Wing Chun for is to add on, especially some of the things we'll be going over either today or later. Your pak saos, your tongue saos, your reflexive strikes. I myself, I'm only 5'6". Excuse me, I'm 5'8". Oh my God, I'm shrinking myself. 5'6", 165. I like, when I can, to train with the largest student that I can. Andrew's good, Ryan's good. These guys are 5 or 6 more pounds than me. So that way, that's how I make sure that this stuff works. If somebody's charging in, if I stand in front of somebody who says 35, 44 pounds of me, if I stand like this, I'm going down. We'll get to the footwork in a little bit, later on. But if you ever get to see Ip Chun, when he trains, he's even moving the body out to the side, to an angle. All right, as I said, we're going to start with the chain punch itself. Now, when I teach it a couple different ways. One of the ways I teach is I tell, and I have to go over and over again my explanation because I say it's like the wheels of a train, which yes, this part is, but this part, the fist itself is coming straight out. Now primarily I hear that we strike with a sun punch here. That's the sun there, makes the sign of the sun. I have seen others that strike with these fingers here, as in many styles. My preference is to keep the wrist straight. It's just to work that forward striking motion. Now the trick is your root. I'm not going to show you my root today. I'm just not gonna, because somebody say that's garbage. The trick is the root. Just like a boxer or a wrestler or anything, the root goes down. If I'm not rooted to the ground, I can forget everything else. So I'm gonna root myself to the ground. I'm gonna use that goat restraining stance just because it's traditional. It's also good if you're on a boat rocking back and forth. Helps with falling over. All right, so here's my punch right here. Now there's many ways to train that punch. I'm going to train it on my pad right here. Notice my pad has arms. Notice right at this time I'm going up the center. I would never do this in a real altercation, right? Because I get my butt whooped. But to train just to strike, and to strike at all, this is strike alone. And this is so we can train it with partners. I'm going right here, right around the middle. There's a lot of bugs out there. All right, so there's Chun. Now notice, my strike is going straight in. It may look like a railroad, the wheels on a choo-choo train. Choo-choo train, I like that. Choo-choo train, but the strike itself wants to go straight in. Now why would we use these concepts? The concepts. I love concepts. Well, the first concept I want to talk about is, again, the rooting of the legs into the ground. If I'm in a neutral stance on a bag, I want to make sure that my force, my energy of my body is going that way. I do not want to do this. If I'm falling backwards, then my root isn't proper. Now, when you do root, that means you have to bend your knees, bend your legs. Lots to do with the spine and the hips as well, but that's a story for another day. So train this on a bag a bag or some device like this. I'm not hitting a tree. The tree's hurt. I condition, not that much. I like my beautiful hands to remain the same way as they are. So again, straight. I'm using these knuckles here. Different punches for different days. You know who taught me how to do a hook punch? Bill Wallace. The master of cooking. Master of kicking, not cooking, that's somebody else. Alright, so that's it for today. We're going to go right off to another one pretty soon.